you play Floodgates.
We have TGS at noon, which is right now. Let me call up TGS. Let's see if he's ready. He's ready. Let's go.
Hello.
Hello. How's it going, bro?
Okay, I've messed up. Hold on. Oh wait, I can. Is that good? Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, cool. How's it going? Are you alright?
Yeah, I'm good, bro. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I've actually been watching you stream all day today.
Oh, that's crazy.
I've been prepping. I've noticed him. Can I see what are you wearing on your legs at the moment?
I'm wearing pajama pants. Yeah, I'm wearing my PJs.
That's fun fact, by the way. I think we're wearing almost the same ones.
Let's go! PJ Pants enjoyers. Yeah, I mean that's the life of being a YouTuber.
Yeah. Nothing down there. It's all good.
Be honest with me. Have you ever recorded a video that used your face cam in your underwear? Ever?
Not in my underwear. No.
No?
I never come because I've got a leather seat, so I'd never be comfortable in my chair.
Fair.
With like shorts on or something.
Fair. No, I've done it in my underwear before. All you need is like the top hat. That's all they see, right?
Yeah. Is your voice a little bit higher in the ones when you're in your boxers? Oh, hello everyone.
No. I think I've masked it quite well. All right, chat. So this is TGS Anime. If you don't know who he is, y'all are weird. You have like what, like 250,000 subs on YouTube? More?
302, I think, or 301.
That's crazy. 300K subs. What an absolute legend. We actually watch pretty much all of your archetype videos. Like that's my go-to when I'm taking a break and eating for lunch, like on stream.
I think I tuned into one of your streams once. This is like probably one of the first times I've ever watched you, and I saw you was watching my content, and I was internally cringing because I could hear my own voice and people watching it. I'm like, oh god, and I was just very critical of my own stuff when I saw that.
Do you oftentimes feel like your own content kind of makes you cringe, and you're just like, oh yeah, this is weird to watch back?
Yes. One of my friends, whenever we're at like big parties, got like a smart TV, and there's be like loads of people I don't know, and he'll go, "What's that on the screen there?" And he'll have thrown up one of my videos. It's just me talking. I'm like, "Oh my god, please turn that off."
Okay, I want to know. Okay, so we're gonna basically be doing like a little bit like an interview type thing because you don't interact much with like a lot of the people from the like, I guess, typical like Yugi-tuber space. I feel like less people know about you and more normies know you than the people that are ingrained in the game, you know?
Yeah, I think that's because the majority of my content is like to do with like the anime specifically. I mean, the last time I played competitive in real life Yu-Gi-Oh was like back in 2012.
Oh wow.
And that was the last time I went to a tournament.
Oh shit. Okay.
So like I feel weird being a Yugi-tuber because I always think of Yugi-tubers like people like do things like you, like deck reviews and just mainly stuff to do with the actual card game. Whereas me, when I'm talking about like, oh, how cool was it when Kaiba summoned Blue Eyes in that episode or whatever? That's probably a little bit why I'm a bit distant, I guess. It's
really interesting because there really is like a divide. I feel like the typical like Yugi-tubers that you'll see people talking about is usually going to be those that talk about like the card game, like you mentioned, and then you got the people on the side that do like lore stuff. Like I know there's like Golden Nova doesn't get talked about a whole lot, but Golden Nova has amazing content about like the full fucking Albaz lore and all sorts of different lore stuff.
I'm super jealous that he's done that. I really want to do that lore because I think it's so interesting, but it's like 6 different archetypes, and I've always split my archetype videos into different archetypes. So I have to put more into one, and it takes me forever to make those videos, and I know how long that video would make, and I'm like, oh.
Bit of a thinker of a question here. Why did you start doing specifically like anime content, or did you even start with that, or did you start with something else with YouTube and then kind of pivot into it?
Well, the question I always get asked is, what does TGS stands for? It's super cringe, but my YouTube is originally like a gaming channel. I was gonna do like achievement guides and trophy guides and things.
Please tell me it's the gaming Sam.
Yeah, true gaming Sam.
Oh wow, okay. I see.
People always think it's TGs from Yu-Gi-Oh, TG archetype. I'm like, no, it's nothing to do with that. But my first video was like top 10 trophies in Call of Duty Black Ops or something like that.
Oh wow, that's crazy. You're a Black Ops gamer.
I was trying to be like IGN, so it's like a scripted video, and I had like a crap microphone back then and everything. It's very cringe. But I was in my maths class one day, and this lad who I talked to but I wasn't very like friendly with, someone asked me something, and I brought up Yu-Gi-Oh. I said, oh, I love Yu-Gi-Oh, I like playing that. And he said he played it, and we immediately became friends, went around his house, played Yu-Gi-Oh with him, and then he sort of got me into playing like more competitively and stuff.
Okay.
We went to our first locals together, and then I was in ICT computer class, and I was like, I might try and do a YouTube channel doing this kind of thing, and it was not great at the start. It was kind of like little rulings I'd learned, like if you set Gear Town over Gear Town back in the day, it'll summon Gadgetron Dragon or whatever. But
you started with the rulings? There's no way you started with the rulings. That's crazy.
They were like weird rulings you might not know kind of thing.
Oh my!
They're all gone from the channel now because like it's very low effort. They're like 1-minute videos and stuff.
Wait, that's cool. That's where I started. I also started with rulings for the most part.
That would be something I would really struggle with. A lot of Yu-Gi-Oh to this day still, I'm learning on the fly. What did I learn recently? I was playing an Ancient Gear deck, and someone bounced my Megaton Ancient Gear back to my hand. I was like, haha! When this card leaves the field, I can special summon an Ancient Gear Golden from my deck or whatever. Nice.
That's the extra deck guy, the fusion, right?
Yeah. And I was like, it went back to the extra deck, nothing happened. I was like, why? It says, oh, because it got returned to the extra deck face down, so it doesn't work. I was like, oh.
Yeah, that's actually a more recent thing. They made an April, like it was like April 1st, 2020 or something like that, was when they updated that specific rule. Prior to that, if it was returned to the main deck, it didn't trigger, but the extra deck it did. But from that point onwards, the extra deck also didn't trigger. It was really interesting.
One of the other ones was, this is probably very common knowledge, but someone activated a card that made me skip my main phase 1 and my battle phase.
Oh,
if you
yeah.
skip your battle phase, you lose your main phase 2 or something, or if you lose your main phase 1, you don't get a battle phase. I think it was that.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's if you skip your battle phase, you don't get a main phase 2. That's the Drytron combo, I assume. Okay, so how much? I want to know how much time, because I'm actually like interested in I'm going to be starting a new YouTube channel soon. I'm going to be making a channel about because I've like you know, I'm a big fan of retro video games. I love my games.
Can I just show you one prop? I've got a couple props here if you ask me any specific questions.
Yes.
Now,
yes.
You watched my Jinzo video, and it's like, you play Nintendo games or Zelda games. I was like, oh my god. I showed my little Zelda collection. This is the only Nintendo 64 game that I have the box for. So
the Majora's Mask. Oh, dude, the PAL boxes are so weird to me, man. Because that looks nothing like mine. Here, let me show you mine.
Let's have a look. Yeah.
So his is like a green box. This is what Majora's Mask looks like in North America.
Oh wow.
Yeah, mine is backwards because my camera's inverted, but yeah, this is what it looks like in so this is the NTSC version.
Comes with a pack thing though, doesn't it? The expansion pack.
Yeah, the expansion pack. You need it to play the game. But yeah, so I'm considering making I'm going to be making a like a retro gaming channel, and I kind of want to do you know who Scott the Woz is?
Yes, I do.
So I'm gonna be like, the idea is I'm gonna be mixing something like Scott the Woz with like Summoning Salt, like talking about like history of games and stuff like that. But I want to have a lot of like in-person B-roll. Like I have like a really big collection and stuff. I want to use my collection for like B-roll and for like I kind of want it to be like show and tell with history of like the games that I have. And I want to know how much research and time goes into like your videos when you make a video about like you know, analyzing something from the anime, or like maybe the history of certain archetypes and stuff like that. Like how much time goes into some of your videos?
When I do my script writing, I'll pick the archetype. I'll try and find as many of the cards in the archetype as I can, and then that's all about putting it in an order that you can sort of talk about, and it sort of flows a little bit better. Sometimes it's not always great, but then yeah, you got to find the Yu-Gi-Oh lore. Sometimes I'll have some like real world comparisons. You got to learn about that, and then you got to put that in your own words. You got to make it good for people to understand and everything. Yeah, it takes a while. I think it's my least favorite part, script writing.
Do you edit your own videos?
I don't know. That's why
I didn't think so.
I saw that Yu-Gi-Oh Wikipedia thing I made a Yu-Gi-Oh Wikia thing of me. Oh. And under like schedule, it puts none. I was like, excuse me, I try and put out a video every like week or something like that. It's not my fault I can't keep up with it. So I was very upset by that. And they picked the worst picture for me. I had a picture of me with on Instagram where I like slowly shaved off bits of my beard. And then I've got like a goatee. My hair's all ruffled. I'm in my dressing gown. And
I think I saw that. I think I saw that one.
I was so upset. But it takes. I think it does take quite a while. I mean, if you could get like a team or something, or like you have an editor for your YouTube.
I have an editor for my current channel, and I'm gonna be working with a different editor for the gaming channel. I think at the beginning, it's obviously gonna be like a process of like figuring out like what my vision is for the video, because obviously like I have an idea of what I want the videos to look like and feel like and whatever, but I can't just like take that and put that in his brain.
That's good. You'll find your style that way as well, won't you?
Yeah.
Like you'll sort of figure it out.
Yeah, because I think that's the big thing that like. I don't like script writing, and I know I'm gonna have to write a script, and I don't know. Do you have any like tips for if I want to write a script, like anything that like shaves off some of the time, because I know it's time consuming, and I want to do it. I just know that the times that I've had to do it, I didn't really like it. So yeah, any tips at all?
No, it's miserable. It's miserable for me, so I don't really know how to say. Because I can't. I've got nothing good to say.
Do you ever get like scared that you'll say something that's just wrong, or if there's wrong information in your video, or are you just like that's like fine?
There's loads of wrong information. I hate it. As soon as I put out a video, I made a mistake. So the one that always comes to mind is my Cyber Dragon video, because they've got Cyber Dragon Hertz, Eins, whatever, and they've got the numbers like for 1, 2, and 3 in their name, I think. And I said the numbers for 2, 3, and 4 in German, and I had all these people going like, "You idiot! That was 2, 3, 4. It was supposed to be 1, 2, 3. You said the wrong one. You didn't do your research." I was like, "No, I did do the research. I just said the wrong numbers by accident. I just put everything over by 1." And like that really upset me. I don't know why, but there's mistakes in loads of stuff.
What do you often do like IRL face cam stuff or whatever for your videos, or is it very rare? Because I know you use like bits and pieces of like things that you film in person.
I really like to have something to accompany what I'm saying. So if I'm saying like, oh, this car can do this, I want to show that in the video. Or this monster is based on this flower, and when it blooms, it's called the corpse lily. It stinks like a corpse, whatever. I want that to pop up. Sometimes I just want to fill the gap with my face, because then I'd have to edit that. So I just be like, and it just takes up a bit of time.
How long have you been doing YouTube?
I'd say I've been doing it properly. It's probably like 8 years, which is ridiculous to say. I've been on YouTube now for a decade. When I started doing it, it literally was just a little hobby for fun. I was just like little odd videos. Like they were like 2 minutes long. They'd be uploaded like once a month or like a couple times a week or whatever. And then I'd say it became proper, because I was a lifeguard at the time. And then as soon as my YouTube earnings started going past what I was earning as a lifeguard, I was like, maybe I should just not do any more hours with this. And I was going into doing like personal training and stuff. I did not enjoy like where I was working and stuff. So I was just like, I might try and do this full time. And it's a great decision. I'm really glad I did, to be honest with you.
When you went full time, were you like were you making enough off YouTube that you were like, this is like acceptable that I'm full time with this?
Yes, I was earning probably like double what I was earning at lifeguarding. So I was just like,
that's crazy. Because like when I went full time with streaming, because I was doing very little YouTube at the time. When I went full time with streaming, I was not making that much. I was
really?
I was making very little, but it was like right when COVID hit, like when everything like started to shut down. I quit my job a week before like my job shut down for COVID. Like I quit because I was like, I'm going full time, and then it just closed down. And I was like, okay, well, I mean, I guess I'll just like super hard pivot into this like streaming thing. And at the time, I had like 400, maybe 500 subs on Twitch.
It's a very good gamble, and you can tell it's definitely paid off, haven't you? Fantastic.
Yeah. Luckily enough, I just moved back with my parents or whatever, so I didn't have any like expenses and stuff, which was like really a big factor for me. When did you decide to pivot? Because you said you started out with like rulings and actual TCG related stuff. When did you decide to pivot from that to doing anime related content, and why did you? Is it because you just like the anime, or?
It just kind of naturally happened. It's just like I was doing the rulings, and then I started learning like the little facts and true. I think my first one is Mystical Space Typhoon. I don't think it's true, but MST, you've got like monsters. So MST, monster, spell, and trap. Oh my god, that's the 3 things that are in Yu-Gi-Oh, the 5 different types. That's so interesting. I need to tell everybody about this. So that's why I started doing that. And then the more I looked into like archetypes, you realize they put so much effort into like either like their inspirations, like this character is based on this famous Japanese god or whatever, and you can see like sometimes like reflections of what cards do in their effects, and I think that's kind of cool. What did I do recently? Whatever my last, I think it was Jinzo, like some of the support cards in the Jinzo archetype, they're like referencing what happened in the anime. Like actual mums. I just think I thought that's pretty cool.
I also think it's really cool when I watch your archetype videos and you're like, yeah, so there's this character is a reflection of this one real world person who did this thing, which is why this effect does that. It's like super interesting, and like that's not even the kind of thing that you can like easily find online. Like the only place where you can like see any of that is like on the Yu-Gi-Oh wiki. I'm sure you've checked the trivia section on the Yu-Gi-Oh wiki.
On that pop-up that keeps saying you need to keep this website going by donating. We need your donations to keep this site going. I'm like, oh man, I should give them like 10 grand or something. But like I use a little bit of like Yu-Gi-Oh organization. It is really hard to find like the official lore, because the Konami only has those I forgot the name. Is it the Dual Chronicle books? they've got like actual lore books.
Yeah.
Wait, but it's all in Japanese. I'd love to buy them just so to like have like if there's an English version somewhere. The Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel's starting to do like little bits of stories and stuff, which is quite interesting.
Yeah.
And it was interesting because sometimes I put my own interpretation on archetypes. I'll fill in the gaps in between. I think in Itachi, I completely winged that one. I was like, yeah, this happened. This definitely happened here. Sure.
But I mean, like, who's gonna contest that, right? Like, I think
you gotta prove it.
Were you a little worried with the Sky Striker one? Because I know you took some creative liberties with Sky Striker, and Sky Striker then got announced to have a manga. So it's like,
yeah. When the manga, I was like, they're gonna. It's so different. To be fair, I don't think I did too bad.
No, you were pretty good. You were pretty good.
Yeah.
But I remember you took a couple of creative liberties, and I remember watching it, like specifically the Striker one, and having people in my chat being like, "That's not how that happened. What is he saying?"
The manga's a separate like thing. It's completely different.
So what else do you have for show and tell? What other props did you bring?
Well, I was waiting for some specific questions. You've already done one. It was like, I think I answered it myself. When did you start playing Yu-Gi-Oh? I was like, oh, in 2012.
What'd you play?
That's what I have here. It's the deck map from 2012.
Did you top a YCS?
No, YCS. I did not top YCS. No, this was Sheffield, United Kingdom, 2012, September. This mat is covered in tea stains.
What deck did you play?
Cool. I played a Malefic Skill Drain deck.
Yeah, you and your Malefics. I know you love them Malefics.
So this was when you could set Gear Town on top of Gear Town, special summon a Gadgetron Dragon from your deck. Beast King Barbaros, 1900 attack, play Skill Drain. You can summon it with 3k. Dark Bribe was my spell and trap negate thing.
You just want Big Bungus, go Burr.
What's the 1900 attack point? Thunder King Ryo.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
Big monster.
Floodgates, love that.
You know what? My mentality on Yu-Gi-Oh! Has changed a lot since I've started playing Master Duel, because I was like very distant from competitive. If I do like unboxings for Konami when they send like new products and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'll open stuff. I'm like, okay, we've got a Guardian Chimera here, a Baron de Floor. Oh my god, there's new Ancient Gear Monster, that's so sick. And then it'll come out on Master Duel, and I'm like, this card's so broken, this is insane. And then I think back to the unboxing video, I'm like, oh, that's why everyone was going mad that I didn't make a big deal out of Crossout Designator. I'm like, oh, okay. So that's kind of how I learned like new things. I'm like at a big delay, so I start to learn.
I mean, I feel like you remind me kind of like do you know Ruxin 34?
Is he the one in good shape?
He's the one. Yeah, he's in good shape. He does the pack openings.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Ruxin, he's like super fucking detached from the game, and he always does a banlist reaction video. So usually the way his banlist reaction will go is like, literally they hit all the tier limit cards to 1 on the last ban list. He's like, yo, they put this tier card to 1. I don't know what that does, but that's pretty cool. And then he'll go all the way to the bottom and go, yo, my boy Yada's back to 3. Like, that's his reaction. I feel like that would be the same kind of reaction you would have.
The last ban list I reacted to was the one where Monster Reborn came off the ban list, and literally I cared nothing about any other card. I was like, oh my god, Monster Reborn's off. And I did like a little bit where I went out in the garden, dug up a sealed tin with like chains on. I was like, oh, it's Monster Reborn, it's free.
I love that.
And yeah,
I feel like a lot of the Yu-Gi-Oh YouTubers that don't like actively make like competitive TCG content or whatever tend to make a bit like that with ban lists. Like Rada also did that. I love that there's like the competitive side, and then there's a Yugi boomer side. Like, I feel like there's just memes that come from both sides, and I feel like it's like a good like best of both worlds kind of situation. You know what I mean?
I feel like I'm getting a lot less Yugi boomer now, to be fair, because I watched Actman's video, and I've watched like everybody react to Actman's video, and I definitely felt a little bit like him earlier on in my YouTube content. I think whenever I made like the problem with Yu-Gi-Oh is all these words, all these different summoning mechanics, I feel completely different about that now. Like, I don't think it's any of that. Like, the game is still can be quite hard to get into, and I do think some cards have way too much text on, which can be quite a put off. There's like a lot you have to keep up with, but I think Yu-Gi-Oh's pretty awesome.
Yeah, well, I definitely think that once you start playing the game more, like Actman probably hasn't played a whole lot, but I think once you start playing the game a little bit more and whatnot, you kind of start getting to that point. Like, I think the idea of like Yugi boomer is less so boomer and just doesn't play as much kind of situation. But we just use the term Yugi boomer because we're just like, they still play GOAT format and all that stuff, you know?
You know, Farfa taught me what GOAT format. The first community day thing we went to at Konami, he was talking about GOAT format. I was like, what is GOAT format? Is that like the the greatest of all time format or something. He's like, no, it's when like Scapegoat was legal and stuff. I was like, oh,
yeah,
I had no idea. I don't know any of the formats.
It's like April 2005. It's a really, it's an okay format. The thing with Goat, right? And here's the big thing. So a lot of people will constantly say like, oh, deck building back in my day was so much more, you know, unique, and you could make whatever decks you wanted. You would slap a bunch of cards together and make it work. Like even Actman said that in his video. And they say nowadays it's all archetype based, and every deck is the same 25 cards. And I'm like, okay, let's go back and look at competitive Goat lists. And competitive Goat lists are a Copy of Breaker, Pot of Greed, Graceful Charity, Ring of Destruction. It's literally like 25 of the same cards, and then you pick the other 15. So it's like very simple. It's very much the same. It's evolved in a very unique way, but it's still somewhat the same at the same time, which is unique.
We look back at it with like rose-tinted glasses, don't we? I had one more map prop. Hold on, it's the wrong one.
Is that a Beatrice mat? I look like Beatrice, a Leviathan dragon.
That was the first mat I ever had. It cost me £20. I bought it at my locals. And this is the only mat I have ever won in a competition. It's a 2012 Yuma mat, which I don't particularly like. It was a winner mat tournament thing that was there. And it had my favorite moment where I managed to get to the finals. And in the final match, I had like a crowd. There's like a crowd around us. And every time we do our plays and stuff, the crowd would react. And I've never had that before. So
that's like, really unique. A crowd?
Yeah, and they were going like, well, no, not a crowd, like 6 people or something probably. But that was a crowd to me.
Fair.
And I'd play a card and they're like, ooh. And then he'd play something like, ah.
You know, I've had that kind of like similar-ish experience, like because I've won one regional in my entire life. That's my only credential. That's my my only big thing is I won one regional playing Gem Knights. It was very fun, and it was very unique to be in like the top tables, round like 7, 8 of a regional, because at that point like everyone that's dropped from the tournament just crowds around like the top like top 4, top 8 tables, and they just watch. And to have like all these people just around just watching and being like, oh my god, what the hell is this deck, this Gem Knight deck? Because this is on a release of Salamangreat. Like Gem Knight was like not on the radar at all. I ended up winning this regional with it. It was wild. I had no business winning that regional, but I did. And experiences like that are really fucking cool. They're super fun.
Yeah.
All right, do you want to play some games on Master, bro?
Yeah, sure.
Let's fucking run it.